Because I was lost.
So we will begin. Good morning. I'm Rob Stewart with PBS, with Rob on the Road, KVIE, and it is so good to be here today. This is a good day. This is a good day. It is so sweet to see Marlene from this vantage point today, because it's been a lot of work. And anything worth fighting for is going to have hills and valleys along the way. But Marlene never lost sight because of Joshua. Never underestimate the power that one life has on someone. When my mother comes to town and we are driving down the street and she sees someone experiencing homelessness, she always says, remember that was someone's miracle one day. And I'm so glad that Joshua's house will help reestablish those miracle moments for people that transcend words. Joshua's house will be the very first hospice for homeless volunteer location on the West Coast. It's huge. And many of you know this, and for those of you who do not, founder and CEO, Dr. Marlene Von Friederichs-Fitzwater, her grandson is Joshua. And I say is because I know that Joshua is very much here today. And Joshua died on the streets. And there are so many others who go through the same experience. If I'm not mistaken, about 2 people a week. Is that correct? In Sacramento alone. And a lot is being done to try to change that. None more than right here today. I would love to bring up the reason we are here, Dr. Marlene Von Friederichs-Fitzwater, to the stage, because I think it is important, as I talk about her, to have her standing right here with me. So Marlene, if you can join me. Okay, now just soak this moment in, Marlene. Have you seen? Just turn around and soak this in, because this was well worth the fight.
It was.
We love you, we believe in you, and we believe in Joshua. I'll help you get down.
Okay, thank you. Oh, welcome, welcome, welcome to everyone. Today is such a special day. I wouldn't be here without all of you who helped get me here, who helped us get to this milestone. Joshua's House Hospice will open. So today is a real celebration of 6 years of hard work, challenges, disappointments, and rewards. And I'm so appreciative of those folks who started me on this journey. The first person I met and talked about Joshua's House with is Sister Libby Fernandez. And Sister Libby's somewhere here. She's right there. And she wasted no time in setting up appointments with key people. And one of the first people she set up a meeting with was our mayor, Darrell Steinberg. And is he still here? Yay, yay. He hadn't even taken on the task of being mayor. I think it was in November the year before he was inaugurated. But he was supportive from the start, and he's fought along with us to reach this goal, and I'm deeply appreciative. Also, Sister Libby introduced me to Tina Thomas and Nick Abdus with the Thomas Law Group. And Tina's here somewhere, I think. They have been incredible supporters. I can't tell you, not only has Tina personally made huge donations, but they've donated hundreds of hours of work providing all of our legal services and making sure that we move forward in a legal and good way. And I'm deeply grateful to them. Also, she introduced us and we met with Jeff Harris, who's a city councilman. And it was actually through Jeff that we were connected with the Thomas Law Group. Jeff has been such a consistent supporter and done everything in his power to help us get here today, and I'm deeply grateful. I know he's battled a lot of folks in the community who maybe didn't want us here, but he's done a fabulous job, and I'm very grateful. And then Rob Stewart, who I keep telling him we wouldn't be here if he hadn't helped to promote us and get support for us. So there's so many of you, and our board members, many of them are here today, and I'm just deeply grateful. I'm also very grateful to Craig with YOLO Cares, who's been with us since the start in creating Joshua's House, and will continue to work with us as we move forward. And I'm grateful to our 4 health systems, Dignity Health, Sutter Health, UC Davis, and Kaiser, who again consistently have been part of the planning and part of our work in creating Joshua's House. Especially there's some particular people, Charlotte Norton with UC Davis Health, Christine Brennan with Sutter Health, and Sandy Sharon, who was the former senior vice president and area manager with Kaiser, have just gone above and beyond to help us get here. I'm also excited that we're finalizing an agreement with Homemade, who will build the foundations, handle the paving, take care of the landscaping, to create this space into a beautiful, good neighbor for this community. So today's a welcome milestone. It's not been easy, it's been hard, and it's been a struggle, but I'm happy we're here. We have 6 paid ADA-compliant manufactured homes in production, and once they're ready, which we are being told will be late fall, they will be brought in and put on the foundations and complete this community. So our homeless, terminally ill residents will have lovely homes. They will have shelter and clothing and meals and volunteer support and staff support. And then our health partners, our health systems will discharge people into Joshua's House who are eligible to be cared for. I'm especially proud that we have 10 trained and certified end-of-life doulas. Again, one of the first facilities in the country to offer that. And I know some of them are here today, and these are people who will just provide excellent care to our residents. So we expect to be open in late 2022, so in the fall, late in the fall. And today I just want us to all celebrate what we've done, what we've accomplished, and be grateful that we're here and we're celebrating this milestone together. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you.
And of course, Marlene, the biggest thank you is to you. This all has been driven, envisioned, laid out, let fly, you name it, all because of our lighthouse, and that is you. You refused in darkness and in light to make sure that this would happen. You refused to take no for an answer. And we are here because of you.
And I'm grateful.
All righty. Robert, you are a wonderful companion, and thank you as well, Marlene's husband. Okay, Marlene mentioned a champion from the beginning with Joshua's House, and that is Sacramento's Mayor, Darrell Steinberg. Come on up. Great to see you. It's happening.
So I first want to know who did the scheduling here to put me after Marlene. That's I just have to ask that. This, just like Rob, this just fills my heart. You fill my heart because you represent what is so good about Sacramento and about society. The homeless issue is a hard issue. And there are a lot of very passionate feelings on all sides. And its impact, of course, is on the people who are unsheltered, but the impact is also on our communities. And sometimes the debate goes many places that don't always focus back on what you remind us of, Marlene. And that is that everyone is a human being. Everyone, as Rob said earlier, was a baby. Everybody had a point in their life where they were doing better than when they ended up unsheltered, cold, alone. And the idea that anyone would live on our streets and die of a terminal illness, die under any circumstances, but die of a terminal illness alone and without love and support and faith and dignity is plain unacceptable. And yet, if you had not persevered for 6 years, the unacceptable would have been the way that it was. And so we are here today to say that every life matters. And to say that if we can do this, we can not alone. We certainly need our partners. We can get thousands of people out of these terrible, squalid circumstances into a better life. And you're helping show us the way. And to Jeff Harris, I want to thank you because, you know, we've been known to agree and disagree on an issue or two. But you have never been afraid when you feel something is right to take on the loudest voices in the opposition and say, no, we're going to make this happen. And that's exactly what you have done here. And your city is grateful to you. Thank you. And to the good people at the North State BIA and Homemade, thank you for making this one of your causes, one of your important causes. We need you, and you have stepped up. And to Tina Thomas, who's just part of every good thing in this community that I know of, thank you to you and your team, because this doesn't happen without you running a lot of interference. No one should be unsheltered. Nobody who's sick should be without care. People ought to have a right to housing, a right to shelter, and a right to mental health care and substance abuse treatment if that's what they need. Period, end of story. We'll continue to fight in this community to find all the right balances and to do the right thing by the entire community. But never, ever forsake human beings. It's exactly what you're showing us, and we will follow. Thank you so much, Marlene.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayor. That was absolutely lovely. Next, I have the honor of introducing Councilmember Jeff Harris, who is, just like the mayor said, a champion here today. And when the mayor mentioned disagreements, I have to say that you only can disagree with someone when you both care. And the fact that both people are here today, and many people who have disagreed along the way, has huge proof of performance, that the heart of the issue is what matters. Jeff Harris.
Wow. You know, being a council member is a really interesting position. You have some wins and you have some losses. I got to tell you, this is a great joy for me. To bring this project to fruition before the end of my term is personally, for me, extremely satisfying. And certainly one of the greatest joys for me in terms of being a city elected representative. Mayor, thank you for a nice piece of oration there. And, you know, Rob's right. When we disagree, there's a lot of love in it. Marlene, you are, when I talk about wins as a council member, you are a win for me. Meeting you has been very significant in my life. Meeting Robert and now Kevin, the people who support you. The moment I met you, I knew that you were a woman of great wisdom and substance and that you had purpose, and you certainly had drive and desire to make this project happen. And as soon as you explained it to me, I knew that I had to do everything I could to get it to where we are today, which is pretty close to the finish line. Your compassion and your wisdom has helped me move forward a lot as an elected representative. It hasn't been an easy road. Whenever you say anything about homeless, if there's a project that has the word homeless associated with it, people have a very negative connotation and a lot of fear around these kinds of projects. You know, there's a lot of negativity that has to be faced, and that's part of the job of a council person who takes on a project like this. But if you're a good representative, you have the long game in mind and a higher vision, a more global vision. Homelessness is such a difficult issue in our city, in all West Coast cities right now. But one of the hard things for me as a council member is knowing that so many people are dying in my district on the streets. I'm very aware of these deaths. You know, they all get reported to me. And, you know, some people have died very close to my house. The fact of the matter is that no matter what brought a person to the condition of homelessness, whether it was a lifetime of trauma, bad decisions, marrying the wrong person, finances that got out of control, no matter what brought a person to that condition, or addiction, you know, that's big, spousal abuse, all of these things cause people to become unhoused. But the fact of the matter is, in Sacramento, our homeless population is pretty aged, with a lot of mental infirmities and physical infirmities. And knowing that 2, maybe 3 people die a week on the streets, as the mayor said, is completely unacceptable. We can do better. And Joshua's House is the way we're going to express that, to show that we have compassion. You know, it just doesn't work for me to know that people are dying in the bushes in my district, in our city. And that's why I've supported Marlene so much. And this is something we have to do. We just have to do it. And to the people who are naysayers, I just say this: we will show you that this will be a great program, well run, well attended, cause no harm to the community, and even uplift it and beautify it. I can see the result that's going to happen here. I know what it'll look like. I know how it'll be run. This is a great thing for the city of Sacramento. We will be pioneers. The first installation like this on the West Coast, even west of the Rockies, is unique in many regards because Marlene's just so smart. That's why. But also our health players, our health community, they support it too because it takes some burden off of them. Imagine if you ran Kaiser or Sutter and you just gave a homeless person chemotherapy and you knew that they were going to go out and basically retch and feel horrible. What do you think it does to those healthcare providers to know that they discharge people to the streets and they have no control over their future, don't know if they'll get treated again? This is a win all the way around. I guess you can tell I'm passionate about it. It's one of the greatest projects that I've had the privilege to work on as a councilman. And so this day is immensely gratifying to me. And I'm really, really proud of our city staff, the support from the council, and the mayor was instrumental in that. Doris Matsui is the champion. Virtually everybody who is still accessing the compassion in their heart is in favor of Joshua's house. And those that aren't, they will be soon. They'll see. This is going to work out fine. I also want to talk a little bit about Nick Avdis and Tina Thomas. This couldn't happen without them. It just simply wouldn't have gotten there. I recognized that early on and connected Marlene with Nick and Tina, and boy, what a great connection that has been. Tina, you're awesome, and Nick. Nick couldn't be here today because he has a health challenge of his own. I'm sorry about that because he has put so much of his heart and soul into this project. It's remarkable, but what it does is remind me of the caliber of people that we have in Sacramento. We are a very compassionate city. I've lived around in various places. Sacramento overall has a very big heart. And it's manifested in people like Nick and Tina who support a project like this. And Sister Libby, thank you for bringing Marlene to me. I really appreciate it. Overall, I'll quit now. Look, this is a great project, and these are great people. I think we get that. I can't wait to see this built. It will be done before I leave office, and couldn't be a better outcome. Good for the city, good all the way around. So thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jeff, so much. And I would like to say one more thing before we break ground. That's just so nice to say. Before we break ground on what I consider to be sacred ground. And I know that underneath this tent, we probably all feel the same way, or at least support the plight of people who are on the streets. But to those who are streaming and who will see this on television, I say this. If you are against working with the crisis at hand, you are welcome here. I'd like for you also, before you speak ill or against of someone who has experienced homelessness, to think about you on your worst day. Would you want that displayed to the world every single day and to be judged because of it? I think not. On behalf of Howard, James, Amy, and Anita, the 4 people on my block, just my block, who are experiencing homelessness not by any choice of theirs, because people do not choose to be without a home. I ask you to get to know them as well. Get to know someone who is experiencing homelessness, and you will get to know yourself very quickly. On behalf of Joshua, especially, your living will not be in vain. Okay, let's break ground. Let's do it. And everybody get a little bit closer. So Marlene, come up for as close as you can to the front. Okay, and then we will give you a count, and we will need you to sort of remember this is also a chance for you to share your story through photos, so please pause when we give you the count. And is everyone ready for the groundbreaking of Joshua's House Volunteer Hospice? 1, 2, 3. Break ground, Joshua's House Volunteer Hospice. And we have a very special addition right now. Marlene, your dream has taken flight. We thank you all so much for being here today, for celebrating this major milestone.